What's up, guys? This old school bait catches so many big bass. Stick around, stay tuned. We're going to talk about jig fishing. So jig fishing is something that's been around for years. I mean, years, probably close to the beginning of bass fishing. A lot of the old guys throw, that's all they would throw were jigs, and I love jig fishing. Primarily football jigs. That's what we're going to talk about today. It's such a versatile bait. You can catch them in 2 foot of water fishing rocks. You can catch them in 35 foot of water fishing main channel ledges, whatever the case may be. Year round. A jig is a year-round bait. And for me, it excels in the summertime. When you get them big fish out deep, they're not feeding up on much, and that slow and big presentation, when you dance that jig right in front of that big fish's mouth, if you've got it rigged right with the right stuff and the right presentation, they just can't say no to it. You're going to catch so many fish, and you're going to catch a lot of big fish. I've caught several fish over 6-7 pounds on this one jig, and I'll show it to you in just a second. I've also caught my PB. It's a 9.2 on Pickwick Lake a couple of summers ago on that same bait. I've caught, 3 or 4 that were over or right at 8 pounds, all on this bait. All of my big fish have came on this bait. I haven't broke no double digits, but so many quality fish have came on the jig. Numerous 4, 5, 6 pounders. So some of you have heard about this company, some of you haven't. It's Tightlinejigs. They're located just down the road from me. Charles Clemens is the owner. Stand-up guy, makes a phenomenal jig. You've probably heard of the Gunnersville Special. If you fish anywhere down here in Alabama, you've more than likely heard of the Gunnersville Special or Mama Brim. Those are his best sellers. This head's been scraped up, put through the ringer. I put this thing to use to catch a bunch of fish. This is the Mama Brim color. More times than not, I'm going to throw the 1/2 ounce football head. Sometimes I'll go up to the 3/4 if those fish are real active or if it's real deep. A lot of times with a 3/4 ounce, it falls quicker, so you get those aggressive fish. They'll be biting it. But a lot of times, fish are a little eager to eat a bigger bait, so I like the 1/2 ounce. That's normally what I throw for anywhere from 1 foot of water to normally about over 25 foot of water. That's when I'm going to bump up to the 3/4 ounce, or if there's a lot of current. But yeah, that's the Mama Brim Tightline jig. Catches so many big bass. And my favorite trailer, this is the Exxon Lures Muscleback Crawl. That's Okeechobee crawl color. And so, there's a lot of ways you can rig it. This is more like your straight presentation. And I have noticed that if you go further up in the head and rig it up like that, you get it standing up. So those tails are going to be sticking up in the water when it goes. And what's cool about these Exxon plastics is that they have floating tails. So that makes this rigging presentation so much better. And so those tails just kind of flutter up, stand up when it hits the bottom. It's pretty neat, man. This is a perfect jig and soft plastic combo. And so this is the full size muscleback crawl, and I like to throw this one in the hot summer months, and then when the water temps start to cool off, normally once they reach 55 degrees and cooler, I will swap to the finesse muscleback crawl. And this is a little bit downsized, and I think the smaller size makes a real big difference. I use this color on almost all of the Tightline jigs. Here's a couple more colors. I think this one's called the Gunnersville Flash. It's kind of similar. And then we've got the Papa Brim. He just came out with this one not too long ago, and they're buying them up. People are really liking them. So I've got this one rigged up on like a green pumpkin red Zoom Ultra Vibe speed crawl. So that's the one I'm going to be throwing in the cooler months. The Mama Brim, the Papa Brim, Guntersville Flash, Guntersville Special, they're all great for all species of bass, largemouth, spotted bass, smallmouth, all times of the year, like I talked about. Caught so many big fish on it, and I will give away this little secret. He just came out with this color a little while ago. I've actually been throwing a color very similar for years, and the smallmouth love it. That's that little joker right there, paired up with a muscleback finesse crawl in PB&J color, I believe. I believe that's what it's called. But that's just a succulent looking jig. Smallmouth love it. Catch a bunch of spotted bass, and you'll catch largemouth on it. But I normally throw this bait when I'm just targeting spots or smallmouth, and the fish just love it. So I'm gonna talk about my gear, what I like to use. For all the half-ounce setups, I'm going to be throwing it on a 7-foot heavy Duckett Micro Magic Pro, and that's going to be good for all your setup. I've got it on a Duckett Paradigm reel, 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. You know, I like to have that big gear ratio. That way I can pick up my line, get that slack in, especially if I miss a bite, get it in quick, cast it back out there. A lot of times they'll bite it on a second cast in whenever you throw back in after missing one. And then when I jump up to the 3/4 ounce jig, I like to upsize my rod, just because, you know, that's a heavy jig. I've got a swim jig tied on right now. This is also my swim jig setup too. But on the 3/4 ounce football head jig, I like to move up to the 7'4" heavy Duckett Triad. This is a very heavy rod. I like the long handle, but this thing just horses them in, and it's still got a light tip. That's what I love about these Duckett rods. And I've got this one paired on a Lew's Speed Spool. This is a very smooth reel. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a little bit about jig fishing. Hope you go out and catch some big fish like I have on these Tightline jigs. I'm gonna leave the links to Exxon and to Tightlinejigs to their website down in the description below. So I want to thank you again for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Hang around, watch some more videos. We'll see you in the next one.